walking. Near the bee, I'm talking. Near the bee, I'm walking. Let's get back to me. Dun, 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 dun. Get your roll on. Everybody get your roll on. Get your roll on. Yeah, I'm squinting because I forgot my sunglasses. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I can remember to wrap up my hair. Ain't it cute? But I forget my sunglasses. Walking out the door. Good Lord. Oh, man. Either everybody's at work, but hi to those that are coming on wherever you are. Whew. It's such a beautiful morning. I want to go outside for a while. For a while. I'm going to do a 360. Yeah. It feels so good to be out and working out. I never thought I would be able to do this again. Boy, I've been through a journey. Yes, but won't he do it? Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Oh, it is so beautiful. And it's kind of peaceful and quiet. I'm glad I'm able to do this before the snow hits. Hey, Donald, how you doing? Do a 360 again. Okay, I can't do that no more because sister get dizzy. Oh, I did it already. Oh my goodness. So, hey, so I have for a while, but actually on and off for a while, been doing holistic health. Hey Joe. Hey. So I had some free time today because doctorate classes are kicking my arse. I mean, seriously, kicking my arse. I have so much to read and so much to type up and do. No, I won't get dizzy. But for a while, I have been working on reclaiming holistic health. I have been doing it since actually as far back as 2003. And I'm sorry if I'm not looking at y'all. I gotta pay attention because I'm in these streets, and I gotta pay attention to the road and the people driving, because even though they're driving, that doesn't mean they're focusing right. So since 2003, I've been working on my health, and then I had a big setback in 2008, and then I had another setback a couple of years later. So now I have been out of treatment, going to the doctor, getting treated, getting tested. So now in a little bit of remission, and now I'm doing what I gotta do. And let me put this, no, it was not cancer, but it was another illness, and more genetic illness, and almost took me out in 2011. So I'm back in full effect, and I said I'll do some walking and try to do some talking with those that popped up about holistic health. Now, when I say holistic health, I learned a long time ago you got to take out the word diet out of your vocabulary, because every time you use that word diet, it almost sounds like a restriction, don't it? It's almost like you have to put on the shanks and do that walk of, being forced to do something. And when you do it, you get all hyped up about it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. This is the year. And New Year's Eve is the best time to say, oh yeah, this is my resolution. I'm gonna lose weight. Yeah, right. 2 weeks later, after all the Thanksgiving, after all the Halloween actually, and after all the Christmas and New Year's festivities, food and everything, you're there with a food belly, a permanent food belly. So, I'm okay. Thanks, Donald. I'm cool though. But anyway, so we have this big permanent food pregnancy, and feeling dismayed, feeling upset, like, man, I shouldn't have overdid it. Well, it's the holidays, everybody overdo it. So don't feel guilty about that. Your life, think of your life as a GPS system or a computer. There's always a reset button, and you can always reboot. Number one. So when I say, you know what, I'm gonna take the word diet out of my vocabulary once and for all. And hey, Brenda, good morning. And reclaim my life. That's when I knew I was heading in the right direction. It's about holistic health. And what do I mean by holistic health? Mind, body, and spirit. You can't do one. Good morning. You can't do one without the other. So if you are not spiritually sound, your body gonna be mucked up. And if you know your body jacked up, everything else is gonna be crippling. But what's most important, your mind. Your mind is the mastermind of everything, of your spiritual well-being, of your body, getting it to its best form. So if your mind, your dome, is not together, you might as well not try. For real. You might as well not try. Just sit and wallow. So anyway, so I decided to get back on this road since my health is back at about 90%. It'll never be back to 100%. I don't think it's ever been 100%, but close enough. So I'm proud to say that I'm glad I'm able to walk on these two cams down here, and I don't mean Cam Newton, on my two cams, because for about 4 to 6 months I couldn't walk. And I was on a lot of medication. And I was, oh my God, I can't even describe what I was going through. But I said, Lord Almighty, you're the one that has the final say so on everything. So if you allowed me to live and didn't take me home at 2011, I know you're not going to have me sitting up here just wasting away because I can't walk right now. Or every time I try to stand up and walk, it's almost like I'm broken. And I was broken. And I can be honest about that. I was broken mind. My body was whacked. And I was just out for the count. So I said, Lord, just get me together. I need to get it together for myself and for my child, because if you have kids, or even if you don't have kids, if someone is looking up to you, let them be your muse to inspire yourself to get back up and going. And so I looked at my daughter, who was just worried about me because I was going back and forth to the hospital, you know, making sure I was okay, and I didn't have to be hospitalized. And I said, I got to do this for her. And she would have been with me, but she had to. She got a big test going on tomorrow. So I told her to just we can do it together in a couple of days. So I went into action. I started brainstorming and putting down everything that was worthy to do this. And number one on that list was reconnecting with God. Number two, reconnecting with myself, because I was disconnected. I was disconnected to myself. I was just there. Didn't know what purpose I had in life. And I said, I got to reconnect with myself. Third most important thing, I had to reconnect with my surroundings. My daughter, people that were close to me. So those three things I had to get together. So the next list I did was all the foods that I liked, all the foods that I loved, and all the foods that I was obsessed with, okay? Now, I haven't really been like a sweets person. Even before my first dedication, wasn't really a sweets person, but I can cook the hell out of some food, especially desserts. And that's dangerous because you become both supplier and enabler. And I became both to many people. So whoever's watching me and I fed y'all, I'm so sorry. So I had to make those three columns of like, love, and obsessed. And the ones that I was obsessed with, I had to say, you know what? I love you, but you don't love me. You don't love me more than I love myself. So I prayed over it. And even though it's an inanimate object, food is so much more if you're not careful. And I wasn't careful. So I got rid of the obsessed food. Now the food I love, it teetered between obsessed and like. But the majority on that list was healthy. So the ones that teetered on borderline unhealthy, I had two choices. Either get rid of it and say hasta la bye-bye, or find an alternative to make it healthier. Fried foods. Fish and chicken. I've never been a big person like on fried pork chops, chicken fried steak. I've never been one of those. But fish and chicken, yeah. So I said, I don't want to get rid of you completely. So I got to find an alternative. So I learned how to cook more of broiled, boiled, baked, and make it flavorful, because I've never been a salt and pepper person either. People that know me, I don't cook with salt and pepper, and I don't cook with Lowry's. So people that say, all black people cook with Lowry's, that's a lie, because I don't like Lowry's. And nothing against Lowry Foods, is Lowry's seasoning. I don't know. I've just been that person. I always like to experiment with different herbs and spices and, finding different combinations that taste good and different. So that's what I did with my love. And my like it list, I had to try to find a way to shift it over to the love list. So things like cauliflower was one. Beets, I'm sorry. There's no way, however you bake a cookie, flour, flambe it, there's no way it's just something about the texture, the look, and I'm just one of those people. If the texture is not good, I'm a tactile person. So anything I touch or taste, it affects me emotionally. So beets is one of those. nuts like peanuts, almonds, I love. But I knew it did something with my digestive system that I had to be careful with. So that's why it's on the like it list. So I had to find alternatives to turn those likes into loves. And so that's what I did. And the good thing about the internet, love it, research all day long. So I found recipes to make cauliflower my best friend, and that's what I did. I've always been a vegetable person anyway, but it was just certain vegetables I was just kind of confused about. So I'm like, what can I do with this? And cauliflower was on that list. Avocados. Man, oh man, let me tell you about avocados. It's kind of like a love I'm not sure about. A love I'm not sure about relationship, right? Because I love guacamole. But again, back to that whole texture situation, putting a sliced avocado in my mouth. Ugh. I don't know. So, but I still wanted to keep it on my list because it's very healthy if you do it right. So again, I found dishes and finding a way to combine them with the things that are on my love list. So like for tilapia, I don't care what anyone says about tilapia, I love it. Same thing with whiting and flounder. I don't eat catfish, so I don't eat catfish, I don't eat watermelon. Those are just things on that list that is not going to ever happen, just not. But tilapia, flounder, I love whiting fish. So I said, well, I can combine avocado as a garnishment for the fish. Because usually, and here's the weird thing, I don't know if anyone else does this, I love mustard with my fish. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. There's something about mustard, that combination of mustard to me seems normal. I don't know if that's something that I picked up when I was a baby, because my grandfather loved fish too. So, but he ate buffalo and catfish. But I think I distinctly remember it was hot sauce and every now and then some mustard. But I love mustard on my fish. So I said, well, maybe I can come up with something as a garnishment for my fish with the avocado, because I wanted to keep it, I wanted to transfer it from my like list to my love list. And that's what I did. Tomatoes. I don't care from what region or whatever, just again, it's about the texture of tomatoes. I just every now and then. So I said, instead of getting those big whole plump tomatoes, I would work with Roma and cherry tomatoes, and that's what I did. So now those are on my love list. You have to find out, and that's just a suggestion. Hey Dana, you say you can't eat almonds. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Can you macadamia? Can you eat any other type of nut? This is to Dana. Hey Jose, is there any other nut that you can eat outside almonds? And here's a trick with almonds. I'm glad you brought that up. For those that can eat almonds, they contain a lot of fiber. And I learned this from Dr. Oz book. It's the one with the blue cover. I can't think of it right now. But Dr. Oz has an amazing book. And it's another book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. So for those that are trying to transform their life to holistic health and not a diet, those are the two books that I suggest. It's a big book with Dr. Oz, and it talks about fiber and how fiber can be your best friend and how you can apply it before you eat your main meals. And one of the suggestions was with almonds. Almonds contain a lot of fiber. And if you can eat almonds like an hour before you eat your main meal and chase it with water, it'll fill you up. Same thing with an apple. You like a small apple to medium-sized apple, drink it with water, and what it does is It gives you, and it's not an illusion of full, because water does that. Water gives you the illusion of full, whereas fiber is a substance that's going through your digestive system, and it actually makes you full. So if you do the apple and the almond about an hour before you eat, it will make you much fuller, and you'll push away from the table faster. That's my words of wisdom for that. So, hey locale or locally, can I call you just Lily? Hey. I'm squinting because it's kind of bright out here. I forgot my sunglasses. How do you do that? But anyway, here's another suggestion for people too. And again, this goes with the whole holistic health. Meditate before you go into your workout. The reason why I say this is because you want to cleanse all of the negative. You want to clean out all the restrictions. For example, if you know this is your day to do weights, or your day to do Zumba or whatever, and it's your hardest workout, you're already putting up boundaries. You're already putting up your restrictions like, man, I don't want to do this, but I know I got to get into that dress or them pants in 2 weeks. So I got to do it. If you meditate, and I mean cleansing out your mind, not worrying about work, not worrying about picking up the kids, do that for 15 to 30 minutes of just meditation, because it gives you that sense of self-reflection, and it gives you that opportunity to be focused on self. Because a lot of times we are, about 90% of us, are always thinking about somebody else or thinking about other tasks. And we don't even take that moment to think about ourselves. Hey, Sahuba. Hi. We don't take time to think about ourselves. And when you meditate, that is the best time to just declutter all that. Because when you work out, it's about you. And let me say something about goals. It's my goal to get into a dress. It's my goal to get into pants. Because I used to think about that too, so I'm guilty of that too. It is my goal to look good for that man I'm trying to catch my eye on. Guess what you're doing? You're putting that power into somebody else's hands. Or that outfit you're trying to get into. You're not giving the power to yourself. No matter how much you try to prove all day long, you doing it for you? No, you're doing it for the dress. You're doing it for that outfit. You're doing it for that man or that woman to look good. But you're not doing it for yourself. So before you go into any regimen, I say take a sit down and have a talk with self and say, self, I'm going to do it for you because I love you first. I have to think about myself once and for all. And once you realize that this holistic health, not diet, please take that word out of y'all vocabulary, diet. You get so much clarity when you accept the fact that this is about you and not nobody else. It's not about you. It's not about them. It's about you. So that's just food for thought. And here's the one thing that is a big pet peeve of mine, and we can agree to disagree. We have become a society of self-absorbed, I'm trying to find the right words without being upset about it, body shaming society. What the hell? Not everybody is meant to be a size 4, and not everybody is meant to be a comfortable size whatever over a size 10. We shouldn't shame nobody. Do you hear me? I am the smallest I have ever been, I think, is a 12. And I know, like, well, what about when you was little? When I was little, I was still chunky. So, just shorter. and like I said, I put no shame to fame. I was well over 300 pounds. Do you hear me? Well over 300 pounds. But the funny thing about it was, even before I lost over 100 pounds, I never had high cholesterol. I never had diabetes or borderline diabetes. That's truth to the highest. Never had sodium problems, cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes. But I dealt with severe sleep apnea. And for those that don't know, sleep apnea is when you stop breathing in your sleep. And when I did testing for it, out of that whole segment, which you go in at about 9, they start you at 10, and you leave at 6 in the morning. I had well over, I want to say 280 segments where these are moments, 280 episodes where I stopped breathing. I was gasping for air or choking. And that's the scariest moment when you're a single mom, and knowing that you can change this. This is a simple transformation of changing this. It's not genetic. It's not biological. It's something to do with you, and you have to change your lifestyle. And that's what I did. And so here I am now again. Aren't these homes beautiful? Beautiful neighborhood. But I had to make up my mind in deciding what's best for me and what's best for my daughter. And that's what I did. And so now I'm comfortable that I don't have over 100 pounds of weight on me. I'm proud of that. I'm never ashamed. You know, and you should never let nobody shame you because of your weight, whether you're small, underweight, average, or overweight. Don't let nobody shame you, because at the end of the day, it's about you. It's not about them. And when you reconnect with God, He's going to give you all the answers that you need. Now, for those that don't believe in God, reclaim the universe. Reconnect with the universe. And that's what I did. I had to make up in my mind what's best for me, what's best for my baby, and get it together. And here's my thing, and I don't care what anybody say, I will never be under size 10. I don't want to be, because you see this big head. I just for me, I'm comfortable at 12. I loved when I was a 12, I loved it. And when I got sick, I jumped up to a 16 because I was immobile. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I want to say 1/3 of the time I was bedridden. So, of course, you're going to gain weight because you can't exercise. You can't do anything. You lose muscle mass. The whole kit and caboodle. So I said, Lord, when I'm able to get back up and go, I'm going to go. And I kept my promise. So that's where I'm at. And so you're walking with me, typing to me, hey, Garrett. And that's where I'm at. I want you all to understand, don't do this holistic health for nobody else, but to reconnect with God and to do it for you. Not nobody else. Because you're doing a disservice when you say, I'm going to do it for my man because my man told me I gained weight. Or I'm doing it for my wife and my kids. I hear that all the time. But are you doing it for you? Yeah, you love your family. You're going to love your family regardless. But are they going to love you because you're at that size? That's something to think about. Do it for you. Love yourself. Learn how to love yourself. Because it took me a long time to learn how to love myself and what that definition of self-love meant. Because you can say you love yourself, but you don't know the true definition of love. Self-love, that is. Self-love, to me, is owning up to all your flaws and faults, accepting the fact that you've made mistakes in life and you're owning up to them. Anything that's causing you harm, but you think that it's making you feel good, like smoking, excessive drinking, things that you know, these impurities, that's what I'm saying. Even sex, and I'm going to get on that in a minute. Even sex, intimacy with someone that the highest energy have not given you. And that was hard for me because I had to learn again. I didn't know how to love self. So I was looking for someone else to love me, to fulfill that void. But oh baby, once I learned how to love self, and again, you can't shame me for saying I've been celibate for almost 2 years. I'm proud of that. Because guess what? This dome and this womb is sacred, y'all. And men, don't think that you don't have a womb. We as women come from you. You have to learn how to love yourself. And as men, I can't tell you how to be a man, but I can tell you from a woman's perspective. When you let anyone and anybody, when you release that energy, you know what I mean? When you release that energy, when you release your seeds into somebody that you don't love, they only barely make you feel good, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I'm speaking from a sister that loved my men, that loved my brothers of all influences, all backgrounds, all colors. We have to start loving ourselves. And when we give ourselves up to anyone and anybody, I don't care if you've been in a relationship for 2 years. I don't care if you've been in a relationship with that person for 9 years. If you've been in a relationship with someone for over 5 years, over 3 years, and you're not even thinking about marrying them. And again, I'm not judging nobody. I'm just speaking from once I was. Okay? And I know there's going to be somebody out there, oh, now so she's self-proclaimed hotep person and she trying to educate us when she was out there. No, I wasn't out there. Let's get that correct. I was in relationships and I felt I loved that person. But I didn't learn how to love me. So I gave that love freely to somebody that didn't understand me because I didn't understand myself. How much sense does that make? You see what I'm saying? I'm being truthful because growing up, nobody kept it real with me. People only used me for what they can get out of me because they seen that I had that heart. Because you got heart. You got that heart. And that's what I had, because when I give love, I go hard or I go home. I don't half-ass nothing. And I'm saying this because I'm giving wisdom to y'all, because a lot of people out here think that they have wisdom, but they not yet. Not yet. And I tell you how you can tell when a person has wisdom and has growth and has strength. You know how you know? Because they're willing to confront their demons. They're willing to say, I've effed up. I've made mistakes in my life. I can go back to these people that I hurt and I can say I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for destructing and destroying my body, but I'm ready to help. I'm ready to give back, because I am going to be the example. And when a person can admit that, then you know that they have gained spiritual wisdom. Don't ever forget that, and don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. When a person can say that I effed up the early part of my life, and that I'm willing to be that example for others by showing them the mistakes that I've made, you know that person has attained wisdom. Don't ever forget that. But back to my brothers, I love y'all dearly. I don't care what nobody say. I'm sorry, I'm not a feminist. And this is not knocking no other sister or nobody that is a feminist. I'm a realist. And a realist is someone that can confront everything, accept the consequences, but can learn. And I'm telling y'all, my brothers, my men, y'all need to be kings, man. Your seeds, if you are not caring for your seeds that you put out here in this world, and I know some of y'all don't understand hurt or understand how to love another being. That's because you don't know how to love yourself. I'm asking y'all right now, from a sister that love all y'all, reclaim your babies and sit down and have a real talk with that woman. Because we have forgotten that we need each other. You know what I mean? And when I say each other, I ain't talking about relationship. I ain't talking about just marriage. I'm talking about as humans, we are supposed to be a help. See, I knew the sun was going to come out. I'm sorry if I look like my eyes are closed, but forgive me, y'all. But anyway, we are supposed to be a helpmeet to each other. And for all of us that are single, don't be giving your cookies and your goodies just to anybody. And even when I was uncelibate, if that's a word, I still wanted to be in a relationship. But again, it goes back to saying, I didn't know how to love myself. So now, I know how to love myself. And I'm okay with being alone. And here's the thing. I know who my soulmate is. God just haven't given him to me yet. And that's real talk. Not know him by name, but as far as what is expected of my mate, which is a balance, which is being a teacher, a guider, an advisor. That's what a soulmate is. So, men, you got babies out here you haven't seen. Remember, it's not about the relationship with that woman that you no longer have. It's about the relationship that you should have with your kids. Because they are your seeds. Remember, seeds. What do you do with seeds? An actual seed, whether it's a vegetable or flower. You have to prepare the soil, right? So that woman's womb was the soil. Once that seed is planted, you let it grow. 9 months of growth. So now you have this blossom, which is your baby. It's just all ass out. Sorry, there's no other word that I can think of. This baby is all ass out. You left the mama to defend for this child, and you feel that you should go off freely? Do you know that it's not free? You need to nurture, and it ain't nothing like having that example from the male perspective. Because again, you have to have a balance in life, a yin and a yang. Just like you have the moon and the star, you have your ups and your downs. You know what I'm saying? We don't do this solo in life. And that's what I meant by being a helpmeet. And it's not all just about when you meet someone, your goal and your target is to be in a relationship with them. Sometimes we come into people's lives for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Remember that. A season, a reason, and a lifetime. But if men are out here not doing what they're supposed to do, who, as a woman that loves my brothers, who is supposed to fend for us? And I say this with all due respect to women that say I'm independent, I don't need no man. It's not about needing a man. When you say you don't need a man, You eliminate the completion of the universe and what God has for you. You blocking your gifts. So stop saying that. Let me ask you this, because I used to be one that said it. Remember I said that I learned by example? When you say that you're independent and all the time you got to throw up your flag and say, I don't need a man, ain't you kind of saying you need a man when you got to put it out there? When you got to verbally put it out there, when you got to text it and type it out there, you actually kind of saying that you do need one, because you got to solidify and put out there that you don't need one when in fact you need one. Some of y'all gonna miss that. What I'm saying is, you ain't gotta say it, you just do. And again, it's not about needing a man, because anytime we gotta need something, we're trying to fill a void of something that we feel that we have to fill it with somebody, when in actuality we should do it for ourselves. Now I know some of y'all like, but she just said we shouldn't get. No, what I'm saying is there are certain tasks that the almighty universe has already have in place for us to do before we meet our mate. Now y'all get it? That's what I'm saying. Hey Matt, hey Tracy. That's what I'm saying. I know I just went all around the world. All of it wraps back into holistic health. I got one more thing to say to my couples. If you're in a relationship with a woman, and I put this out on Facebook, and I'm going to say it again, and y'all says that y'all can see me. If you are out here playing house with your wife, and you living it up with another woman, why? Why are you doing that? What is missing in your marriage that you feel that one, what do you feel in your life that one, you can't talk to your wife, and two, you feel that the best resolution is to find somebody else? What's going on? And you know what I say that is? That's fear. Because we have a fear of, well, maybe I'm going to hurt her feelings. Or I feel she doesn't get me. When you took your vows, you said to love, honor, and cherish in sickness and in health, forsaking all others. That forsaking all others means fear as well. Did you know that? Forsaking all others, that means human and spiritual. Forsaking all others. So if you have a fear of talking to your woman, what is in you that you have lost that connection with your wife, that you feel you can't talk to her, but Teresa I can talk to, she gets me. You know, yeah, she gets you all right. She got your money. She probably got your another seed. She probably got you all twisted up in here. Stop playing okie doke. And again, this is a woman that's keeping it real and that loves you all. Stop playing the okie doke. This whole side chick revolution, this whole era of the side chick, and y'all falling for the okie doke. I'm so sorry. So I meant what I said. If you are in a relationship, in a marriage, and you got a side chick, you're causing harm to yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. You're hurting you. Because once everything come to light, and it will, it may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, it may not even come until 3 to 5 years from now. But when the light hits the fan, it ain't gonna be no you had every opportunity to talk to her and be real with her, because again, that forsaking all others is true. And when you took that vow, you said no matter what, I don't care what situation, what outcome, what circumstance. I am going to talk to you because I love you and because I respect you. When someone gives their heart to you and they give you their history, they're saying to you, I am comfortable with you. I put everything out there on the line for you to protect it. And that goes to women too when men tell their backstory. You are the gatekeeper to their heart. You do them a disservice when you go out there and you're cheating. Go out there and cheat. You're breaking up the fundamentals and the foundation of a marriage. And if you got situations going on, you need to talk to them. And if that means you got to go to a counselor, a pastor. I'm sorry, I'm not a licensed clinical psychologist yet, but this is just wisdom for free. Trust me, I've done had my growing pains. I've done had my relationships where I was at fault. Again, I'm keeping it real with y'all, where I was at fault because I didn't know how to love myself, so therefore I didn't know how to love this person. And then I took in somebody that was damaged and didn't identify how to love themselves or himself, and I didn't help him any better. So, again, I try to give you all food to feed off of because we are in a critical time. And I'm not just talking about political. I'm talking about social. I'm talking about economically. I'm talking about our whole staple of being is in crisis. And most of us are running around here with their head cut off, not knowing what to do. I'm telling you, it starts with self, and everything will follow. Learn how to love yourself, accept yourself, all flaws and all. And once you realize, and once you have a better understanding of your self-worth and your self-being, everything will fall into place. Everything, trust me. I am a living, breathing testimony. Everything will fall into place. Do you hear me? I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm a late bloomer in life, but I experienced so much growing up. And I had to do a lot of growing up, a lot of eating crow, but most importantly, trying to find myself. And I'm just sharing food with you to feed off of. And there ain't nothing wrong with that because most people try to pay $9.95, $19.95, and $99.99 for what I'm trying to tell you. It is a time of rededicating yourself holistically. Not for a dress, not for pants, not for a person. It's time to grow. And it's time to grow up. So, I am going to wrap this up. I am going to finish my walk. And you all have helped me too. Do you know that? That putting these words out into the universe in a positive way and not asking for nothing in return is the greatest gift, because you all tuned in. Because maybe something, that little instinct said, hey, D.A. Weiss, you know that chick with the red hair in the picture? The writer, she online right now. Go see what she got to say. She might be jabbering, but you might find something inspiring out of it. So I hope you have been fed and fed well. I love you all. Even though I don't know you personally, I love you all. Put something positive back into your life, meaning loving yourself, reclaiming and reaffirming that you are worthy in this universe, in this planet. That's not Hotep. That's not being Hotep. That's just being real. That's just life experiences. Just love life for real. And for someone that's hurting, reach out to them. It can be a family member. It can be your own child. It can be your own parent. I think I'm going to go this way. Be your own parent. It could be a best friend. Talk to them. Say to them, hey, I love you. We need to talk. It's not about hurting you. It's about healing you. And take it from there. So let me finish up. And again, I'm not a licensed clinical psychologist yet. But if you need to reach out to me, hit my inbox. And please like. I love you all so much. And probably on my next outing, I might do another live. Peace and blessings and light.